I'm going to teach you how to use the rule of thumb tab under the bidding calculator, and just specifically just the rough schedule tool. Where you would use the rough schedule tool is, let's say you gave a bid to a guy and it's bid day, to a general contractor, and they called you up and said, hey, I need a quick schedule, and they want it over the phone. Or let's say they're working on a budget and he goes, hey, how long would it take me, what should I put in for all these different items, for durations and things like that, and they need it over the phone. This is really good for quick off the cuff. Not as useful for if you want to give a very specific schedule to that job. It's probably worth the time adding up, what your different quantities are and that type of thing in order to give them a very specific schedule. But this is just for rough off the cuff, and it's quick to do, and a lot of it's automated. So really quickly, let's go over the first portion, which is grubbing and cut and fill. These quantities and the quantities per day that come in right here are actually being derived from the trucking and the scraper tab. So 621s usually we use to cut and fill, and 623s usually we use to grub. And let's say we've already filled out our scraper calculator. We put in the number of scrapers, and we can actually put in the quantity. Well, according to this, it's 17 days with 4 scrapers at the production we've listed, and with that quantity. Same thing with our grubbing. We have 1 scraper, we have 10,000 cubic yards, 6 days to grub. So those get pulled in here to the rule of thumb rough grading calculator, and we can tell the general contractor I need 6 days to grub and I need 17 days to cut and fill. The next portion is the utility portion. Now, a brief description of how this works. I went through quite a few projects to get averages on the speeds of how many feet per day you can lay storm drain pipe, including boxes and tie-ins and everything. So you don't have to sit there and count up boxes and how long it took you to tie in to the back of to do a port in place manhole or do a nose on or any of those things. That's all kind of included in the quantity per day that you see here. They were so different according to the size of the project. This allows you to select from a few different size projects. So we have downtown, small commercial, medium commercial, large commercial, and tilt up. So if you look from large commercial, the quantities per day are going to go a lot slower when you go downtown, because downtown work is slow and it's really small footages, and so they go way down. So the quantities per day goes down, but the days goes way up in this case. And so each type of work has a different quantity per day. So in the case for this example, we're going to use large commercial quantities per day. Where this number comes from, the quantity, it actually comes from these tabs down here at the bottom for the storm drain, the sewer, and the detention systems. So if you look at Storm Tech in this particular job, we have 2,000 feet of 18-inch storm drain pipe, and that gets pulled in on the rule of thumb tab under 2,000. So these quantities just come from these other tabs as you're doing your normal bid anyway. And then it takes the quantity per day and it lets us know for a rough schedule, a rule of thumb, that's why it's the rule of thumb calculator, give you an idea on what the calendar days are. So if a contractor calls you up and you need some quick numbers and you've already put the bid together and you need some bid numbers on bid day, you can come right over to the rule of thumb tab, select the kind of job, and give them a really rough idea on how long it'll take right then and there. Makes it real quick and easy.